Jack Renshaw, former spokesperson for National Action and ex-BNP youth organizer, convicted in 2018 of inciting a child to sexual activity by contacting boys 13 to 15 with explicit material and offers of gifts, money, and drugs. Also convicted of an attempted murder plot. Ryan Fleming, National Action regional organizer, convicted of sexually abusing a 14-year-old girl and prior to this, guilty of forcibly imprisoning and sexually abusing a young boy, recently jailed again for breaching a sexual harm prevention order. Simon Shepherd, BNP, multiple offences including racial hatred and child sex offences. Simon Forster, ex-National Action, indecent images of children, jailed for 4 years. Jaden Milne, patriotic alternative activist, pled guilty to sexual assault, had to perform unpaid work. Warren Gilchrist, Britain First, sentenced for violent disorder, had 31 offences against children under 13 and 14 offences related to failing to comply with sex offender registration. Additional cases: Vincent Charlton, Andrew Leak as in Leak, Ian Davison, Delaney, Ryan Jackson Axl Scott. All of them have combined convictions of terrorism offences and sex crimes. During the Morningstar conference in June 2025, that's this year, historian Louise Raw cited research indicating that 103 publicly identifiable far-right individuals have been convicted of sex crimes, especially against children, though she estimated the true number to be exceeding 5,000, a rate far above that of the general population. I want to point out to you guys that the difference between illegal immigrants and legal immigrants is money. But through the loophole of turning illegal immigration into a crime in this country, it leaves one open to reframing immigrants or anybody who looks like an immigrant as the type of criminals that these far-right activists actually are. Now, the point of this video was supposed to be because my neighbors have been attempting to antagonize me, and not just these people up here, but also outside. They've been attempting to antagonize me so that I set myself up by stating everything that I stated on Facebook, because they believe if they set me up like that, then they'll be safe. They didn't take into account that getting rid of me just leaves bigger monsters behind. People like me were born to lose. People like me were born to be villainized. That's fine. What I've realized is that it's not important for me to win. It's not important for me to be seen as a hero. It's not important for me to even be seen as sane. None of that is important. What's important is that I basically ensure that my losses are something that I can gain from, that the victory that my enemies get are hollow. With that in mind, I said on my Facebook that if there are any groups of racist yobs coming after me, and I said this on my Facebook, if any of these people in groups come to me with intent, I'm not going to hell by myself. I said that, and I meant that. Because even though I'm not suicidal, even though I have no plans to accelerate my own death, So people can get that out of their heads right now. Even though I have no plans to accelerate my own death or to do anything to myself of any kind, I might not have something to live for, but I damn sure have something to die for. So I'm not going to cheapen my death by threatening suicide or threatening to kill myself every single time the gang stalking gets too much. I have far too much work to do, evidently. Okay? Now, I meant what I said. I'm not going to strike first. I'm not going to go out looking for people to fight and kill. But if they approach me with the bullshit, like I said, I am not going to hell by myself. And the reason why this video in particular of me saying this was meant to be a setup is so that a bunch of racists who don't want to feel the consequences of their actions can feel like that I won't get revenge on them. That's what this setup is about. They don't seem to understand they're not the fucking main characters in this. They don't seem to get it. That's what I said, and that's what I meant. And again, I want you to think about those names and think about who they want to replace black and brown people with. And I'm talking about the far right anti-immigrants racists here. Think about who they want to replace us with. The kind of people that they think is perfectly fine while they want to kill and harm us. Really think. Really think. That's why I don't mind saying on camera, if you come after me, it's up. I don't mind saying that on video, on camera, in public. Because look at what the fuck we're actually dealing with. People seem to think this shit is a game. And bear in mind, I'm just talking about far right individuals here. There are far more sex offenders among gang stalking. Far more nonces, far more child abusers among gang stalking than even the far right. So I said what I said. If a far right supporter comes at me with the no, not even a far right supporter, a far right group comes at me with the bullshit, I know I'm not going to win, but I'm not going to lose by myself. I'm not going to hell alone. If a group of fucking perps come at me with the bullshit, I'm not going to hell alone. I said what I said. I meant what the fuck I said. Because the alternative is we live in a joyless world run by the worst people in society. Hell, it's already happening. The normal rules do not apply anymore. They haven't applied for 20 years. These racist cunts have been frothing at the mouth since Obama got elected in America. This is premeditated. All of this is premeditated. So I'm telling you right now, if any of them groups come at me with the bullshit, I know I'm going to lose. But I got the devil waiting for me, and I need a +1. I'm not going by myself. And speaking like, I'm going to come at the progressives again now, because they're getting on my fucking nerves, right? The amount of criticizing that they do of other people who want a revolution. You know, and some of these people are, you know, they're army trained, they're military trained, they're fit. They're fitter than a lot of the people that they're criticizing. And yet, what the fuck are they doing to actually prepare for these fucking nonce, far right cunts coming after everyone? What are they actually doing apart from talking shit? Not a goddamn thing. In fact, many of these fit so-called progressive people are fucking gang stalkers. I can name 2 right now. Let me not though. You got all these fit like thriving people, exercise and doing all that wonderful stuff, right? Like, where is any of that energy for the people who are actually fighting against us and taking our lives? Where is that energy for the people who are actually taking our lives? You got energy to be fat phobic. You got energy to be critical. You got energy to be elitist. You got energy to be ableist, but you don't have the energy to take those fit, lithe bodies and attack some fucking racist pieces of shit. You don't have the capacity for that. You don't have the capacity to at least train and recruit people so that marginalized groups can defend themselves. You don't have that in you, but you got it in you to criticize everyone else. So busy talking about how the leopards ate these racist faces, and you're not even talking about the tigers eating yours. Me, I can barely do 20 sit-ups. And don't ask me to run no miles, because if my lungs are not full of mold, they're being attacked by remote weaponry. I've been attacked by remote weaponry in my kidneys, in my hips, in my back, in my pelvis. And I'm still weight training. I'm still preparing. I'm still trying to figure out what weaponry to use. And I'm going to say that on camera. I'm still trying to figure out what weaponry to use to defend myself, seeing as in the UK, I have limited options. I'm still trying to figure all that out, given the law. And also knowing that as a Black person, I'm 4 times likely to be stopped. So I'm trying to navigate all that in a bit to understand how I'm going to defend myself against fucking racist yobs coming at me. So that I'm not a sitting duck, so that I don't lie down like a dog when these fucking cunts come after me. And bear in mind, Woodingdean, where I live, already has a history of racist hate. There have been flags around Saltdean. There have been flags around West Street in Brighton. You seriously think those motherfuckers aren't capable of violence? They've already demonstrated that they are. They already demonstrated that they're capable of violence in fucking Southport. Irony of all ironies, these people in Southport are apparently rioting over the death of children, and yet we've got far-right groups outnumbering the general population in child sex offenders. Are you fucking kidding me? So yes, if you want to set me up for this. Some things are more important than avoiding prison or avoiding hospital. And that's all I have to say about that. So to my fellow TIs, listen, I understand how draining it is to be a targeted individual and to be surrounded by hatred. I understand that I understand what it's like, because when you're a targeted individual, sometimes what happens is that even if it's fake, even if you know it's not real, even if you know the people in front of you being cordial with you are lying to you, are involved in your trafficking and your torture and your murder, even when you know that's what they're doing. Sometimes you're so desperate for positivity, you will take it wherever you can find it. And sometimes you just don't want to entertain shit like this. I get it. I understand it. But we don't have time. We ran out of time 2 decades ago. There are people out there who want war. And the whole weaponized incompetence thing, this whole us feeling sorry for these racists and these yobs and gang stalkers and perps, they're just desperate. Oh, they don't know what to do. This weaponized incompetence of abusive people is exactly how we got here. Because low key, we think that because they don't bother to educate themselves on racial history and they're just driven by anger, we seem to think that we're better than them. But hear what, right? Anger gets shit done. While we're over here analyzing, picking apart every single piece of propaganda These people are throwing around propaganda like darts just for us to pick them up and dissect them. And while we're doing that, they're mobilizing. There have already been far-right chapters in this country literally training to prepare to kill Black and brown people. And God knows how many of them actually get away with harming children every day. That is who I'm up against. And that's before we even get into the gang stalkers. Do you know how many traffickers and sex offenders and fucking violent terrorist people are actually part of gang stalking? And yet people want me to sit here and be a sitting duck, or they really think that sectioning me or putting me in prison is going to fucking stop me defending myself. They really think that. And this is the thing, right? This is the thing. I was wrong about the gang stalkers because I think I said at one point, or I thought at one point, that the gang stalkers are willing to kill for something, but they're not willing to die for something. Now I understand. With this attempted setup, they're willing to die so that they don't have to feel like they're wrong. They're willing to offer their children up to the wolves so that they don't feel like their feelings are hurt. They're willing to collapse the economy. They're willing to make the quality of life worse for everyone else just so that they can get away with doing wrong and not be judged for it. That's what they're willing to die for. That's what they're willing to be harmed for. That's what they're willing to be killed for. That's what they're willing to be murdered for. Because you have to remember, the perps are also being murdered by the same program. So that's what they're willing to die for. They're willing to die to feel like they're right, even though there's shit that they actually need to be doing. They need to be making things right. Instead, they don't want to make things right. They want to feel like they're right. That's what they're willing to die for, at the expense of everyone else too. And they will drag everyone to hell with them. The reason why I said what I said about me taking a far-right cunt to hell with me if they start shit, the reason why I said that is because these perps are going to hell. And they're willing to take the world with them. Why should we not take someone with us? In self-defense. But why should we not take someone with us? You've seen Nerve Gorilla with the death threats. You've heard about multiple targeted individuals being killed. You've heard about multiple Black and brown people being killed by racists. One of them right here in Brighton. So yeah, if everybody wants a rant, we can have that. That's fine. Rant done. Marsha the Great out.